Season 2 of Hazbin Hotel has ended, and we are left with a lot of cliffhangers and unfinished storylines, but luckily for us, over the years, Vivzie has actually talked a lot about Season 3. She's even mentioned that it's her favorite of the 5 seasons that she had envisioned, and while not all of this is guaranteed to happen because things will change from ideation to implementation, today let's talk about where Hazbin Hotel could be going in Season 3 based on what she said in the past, starting with the biggest cliffhanger of the finale, Lilith. Lilith's character has been a massive mystery within the show, as she's actually now been the cliffhanger of both season finales, with the first season ending with Lute telling her the deal with Adam is off, and the second season ending with her finally calling Charlie back after like 50 missed calls. Vivzie has said in the past that a large focus of season 3 will be on the Morningstar family, and that Lilith might even be returning to Hell, which would make for a pretty interesting reunion with her daughter and estranged husband, both of whom she has been actively avoiding for the last 7 years. This is also very convenient the exact amount of time since the extermination started happening and when Alastor went off the radio, so hopefully Lilith's return means that we could get some answers to those questions, and maybe even some more information on Rosie, who seems very interested in keeping Charlie safe while Lilith is gone. Now, more than ever with Alastor's deal to Rosie being broken, the hotel could be vulnerable to threats from both outside and even the inside, with guests pouring in after Serpentius prove redemption is possible. Speaking of threats, Alastor. In a recent Reddit comment, Vivzie stated that a character who has been friendly up to this point is now primed to turn antagonist, and with the specific amount of detail she gave, this could really only apply to Alastor. I think it is very likely Alastor goes from hotel regular to either main or supporting antagonist in season 3, not only because of Viv's statement, but also because he hasn't had good intentions from the beginning, and for the first time he's finally free of his deal with Rosie, and he can do whatever he's been planning up to this point. With the way he looked at Lucifer in the ending of season 2, it seems likely that he has some plan for him, and seeing how easy it was for Vox to trick him into becoming a Lucifer ion battery, Alastor is likely cooking up something for the fallen angel. Speaking of angels, there is one other likely antagonist coming in season 3, Lute. Viv has explicitly stated that season 3 is where Lute goes full villain, but she didn't really have to because it seemed pretty obvious this was going to happen. At the end of season 2, through the power of song and casual misogyny, Lute completely backed down and returned to heaven with Abel, but this won't be the last that we're seeing of her. A lot of people, myself included, were a little underwhelmed with Lute's plot relevance in season 2. She had an entire villain arc moment along with hallucinating Adam, just to again and again accept Sarah's instruction, and despite a very short rematch with Vaggie, she ultimately backed off rather quickly when asked. But I don't think that's too much of an issue, as the season largely focused on Vox as the main problem to be dealt with, and it will be nice to see more of Lute and what she can do in season 3. But as sad as Lute's story was, there was one more character who had it a lot worse. Angel. Angel Dust had pretty significantly the worst outcome of any main character in season 2. There was basically no change to his situation from season 1, being forced to serve Valentino, and it went from bad to worse when we found out that he was also being mind controlled by Vox to spy on his friends and allies. He was forced to give a statement to Hell about how the hotel doesn't work, and his storyline ultimately finished with having to be rescued, but not before being forced to strangle his best friend, something that clearly affected him deeply. Realizing that he'll never be fully free from the V's, Angel says a tearful goodbye to both Cherry and Husk, and decides to actually go back with Valentino instead of returning to the hotel, refusing to be used again as a spy. And that is actually the last we see of him in season 2, which is a pretty not great ending for a character that seemed very close to a possible redemption. Of course, we'll be seeing more of Angel in season 3, as Viv has stated that it will not only focus on the relationship between Angel and Husk, but also possibly Angel's family. Since his early days, he actually had a brother Arachnus and a father who was unnamed residing somewhere in the Pride Ring. And some of that stuff I would take with a grain of salt, because Angel's story has changed a lot in the last decade, and we even got a little cameo from his sister, or what looks like his original sister, up in heaven. But either way, I would actually count on at least Arachnus making an appearance at some point, and a significant focus on Angel and Husk together, maybe even going 3 for 3 on Angel Husk songs every season. Season 3 is likely a long ways off, but those are my predictions based on what we know. Let me know in the comments what you think will happen in season 3. Thanks for watching. Catch you guys next time.